Welcome back to Doing the Most. Today I have something big to kind of just start off with, and that is the idea that this has to be one of those podcasts where we just discuss, talk, chill, vibe. Like, I don't want to make it too serious. Sometimes I think like, yo, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then I'm like, to be fair, that wouldn't be enjoyable for me. Like, they already have channels for that. They do stuff like that. I want to just talk like I'm talking to my friends. I say this all the time. My point of this is me just getting my love of basketball out there, which is just me chilling, kicking back on the couch with my boys, my girls, just talking about the game that we all love so much. So, first things first is we're getting a schedule. So, I'm going to be uploading every Monday. All right. That way we can talk about everything that happened over the weekend, the past week. We'll discuss the whole week overall, who made some big moves, who did this, that, all the above. Then we'll either discuss Thursday, we'll meet up again before the big headline games. Usually we have big games on Thursdays. If not, we'll maybe Friday. I'm aiming for always every Thursday. All right, that's my goal, plans, all that. And then we'll have certain other episodes throughout if something big happens, if there's something that I feel like we need to discuss, especially when the playoffs start hitting, when you have like all-star events, like little different actual news, right, where it comes to trades and whatnot. That's the game plan, all right? That is the game plan. Now, the good news is that the time did change in the U.S., so games are earlier for me in Egypt. Yes, it affects me a lot. Now I will be able to watch certain games as opposed to before where I'd have to watch highlights later on, or I'd be like half asleep while watching the games. Literally, Laker games, for example, like I'm talking West Coast games, would start at 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. Now today, for example, the latest game that starts is 4:30. That's a huge difference. Now you're talking about a whole hour start time early, talking about an hour end time early. That's huge. That's big time, and I love it. That is something I definitely cannot wait to enjoy more games and have a lot of fun with it. So for the recap, the first place we got to start is player of the week. You got to begin with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropping 44 points per game this week. In 3 games, they went 3-0. His first game versus the Rockets, he had 51. What a performance, what a showcase, what an exhibition. And he followed it up a couple nights later against the one and only Denver Nuggets. We're going to talk about Denver a little bit later because we have to, obviously, because there was a historic performance there as well. But he put on a 40-point exhibition against them where they won by over 20. Well, they won by 24. I was going to say over 20, but they won by 24. Absolute stud-like performance. I think he kind of inched his way ahead of Nikola Jokic a little bit more, made some space separation for that MVP because obviously people talking about Jokic, SGA. There's a lot of talks about who deserves it this year, and those two were the like front runners right now. And I think a performance like that definitely is big time. Now, out east, this is my guy, man. I root for this kid because of what he does on the team he does it for. Like, because, I don't know, he gets a lot of hate around the league, but Trae Young was named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. He's averaging 24.5 points per game over the 4 games, but averaging 13 assists per game. He deserves so much credit for being able to do that. 13 assists per game while playing for the Atlanta Hawks is mind-blowing to me. I think that is so good, so incredible. Imagine this dude had an insane team around him. And this was, they went 3-1 during the 4 games they had over the week. Absolute great time, great stuff. Now, the best team, I would say, during this stretch, during this week, would have to be the Golden State Warriors. They went 4-0, and they did it in great fashion. They've been looking real good ever since they added Jimmy Butler. They're moving on up the standings. We got big news on Steph Curry becoming an assistant general manager for Davidson College. He's the first ever player, active player, to get a front office job for a college team. That's actually so cool. I'm sure the recruitment process, like, you're going to want to go knowing that Steph's involved. Like, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people are going to want to do that. I guess let's talk about some injuries that happened. So Dallas's only player left, right? They're cursed right now. I think after what they decided to do to Luka, it's downhill. Their players just kept falling one by one. It's like a chessboard where they have no defense, and then one by one the soldiers start dropping in the background, and Kyrie's out for the year. Season-ending ACL injury. Definitely don't want to see that ACL tear. Don't wish that upon anyone, literally upon anyone. Now they have nobody. They've been on the biggest losing, well, not biggest losing streak, but I think they dropped the most this week when it comes to all that stuff. Just so sad to see. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for them because they were having a pretty good year before they just traded Luka and just went with, well, not a great year or anything, but they were going to be in the mix. Now there's no shot at all. Houston Rockets, Reed Shepherd also got hurt. He's out for a little bit. We saw LeBron also groin injuries, out for a little bit. Just little minor tweaks here and there. I'm sure there's other players that I don't know about that are out. We saw that PJ Tucker got picked up to a 10-day contract by the New York Knicks. I'm pretty sure I just got a notification earlier. I didn't click it and didn't read into it. But I think Mo Bamba just got picked up by them too, which is pretty cool. They get opportunities right here. There's definitely a veteran in PJ Tucker. I don't know if he travels with all 3,000 pairs of shoes that he has, or plus now. It's probably like 6,000, probably like 12,000. He probably, what does he do? Like, what happens? At this point, put him on a boat. You've been getting traded a lot lately, man. Might as well have that ship chase you around the country at this point. I don't know. That's kind of funny. What games do we have this week? I guess we could talk about that last. I'll go through the schedule really, really fast. Let's just keep talking about guys that had amazing performances. We saw that Steph still got 40-point game in his bag. He went amazing against the Nets. He absolutely cooked them. He did a night-night celebration, even though the Nets almost spoiled it. I was watching that game. I was like, whoa, they had a chance. Coby White had a 44-point outing against the Orlando Magic in a really close game. He hit 7 threes. I think it's so much better now, like, for players, obviously. I'm not saying it's better for the league, but it's so much better for players that they're able to shoot such high volumes. Like, he took 15 threes. Back in the day, no player was taking 15 threes. Like, a team maybe takes 15 threes, if lucky. So the fact that one player can take 15 attempts, you're telling them, yeah, like, you're going to hit a higher rate, in my opinion. Like, you'll have a good percentage because you're able to shoot here and there. We saw, who else? Boston Celtics absolutely cooked up the LA Lakers. Kind of. It looked like it. LA made a kind of a run back. It wasn't really a close game. Like, they did make it a close game at the end where they cut it to like 4 or 5. But it felt like it was Boston's night, like, ever since that second quarter. It started off by LA. Boston just took control, really took it and, like, started punching LA. But, like, if you were watching the game, I felt like as a mutual fan, I'm a mutual fan watching the game. I didn't think LA really had a shot the whole time. I don't know. I just didn't feel it. Like, Boston played Jayson Tatum the whole game, Jaylen Brown the whole game. I know a lot of people have been hating on that, but it's not just a regular season game, really. Like, if we're being honest, we want players to try. We want players to play hard. We want players to take things seriously with the regular season. So we can't go sit here double standard and be like, oh, Tatum played 44 minutes in a meaningless game. Like, nah, man. It's a rivalry game. It was the most expensive game. I saw some courtside seats on for like over $20,000. That's insanity. But it was a great, fun game. Tatum scored 40. He had 40 that game. We saw who else had a big-time game. No one really had a big-time game. Luka had a really bad game with 30. But Jaylen Brown had a really great defensive outing, for sure. I thought he had a great defensive outing. Najee Marshall for the Dallas Mavericks. What a game from that man. Dude had 34, 10, and 9. They lost to the Suns, though. But he really played really, really well. That was nice. And then I saved the best for last. Jokic's performance the other night was ridiculous. Those are the only ones I'm going to highlight. Definitely missed some games. That was a busy week. There was definitely some other stuff that happened. Just that Thunder Nuggets showdown was cool. The Boston Celtics Lakers was cool. Like, there was fun games all throughout. But Jokic against the Suns, what a performance. He made them his sons. I'm pretty sure if he played against his kids, which I'm pretty sure he just has a daughter if I'm not mistaken. If he played against his kids, he shouldn't put up that stat line. But dude had 31 points, 22 assists, and 21 rebounds against an NBA basketball team. That's the first ever 30-point, 20 rebound, 20 assist game ever in NBA history. I actually just watched the game a little bit earlier today on my More Most Bowling channel. So if you guys want to go check that out, the link for that channel will be down below, so you guys can go check that out yourselves. We'll go ahead and look at plus minuses. I know plus minus absolutely means nothing, but when you're talking over a whole week, it kind of is cool to see the impact of players. Like they track this down for like the whole week and all that. So the highest plus minus for the week was Zubac. I don't know if anyone would have guessed that, but Zubac had a plus 62 in 4 games. 4 games. So every time he's on the floor, they outscore their opponent total throughout the 4 games by 62 points. And it's actually wild who had the lowest minus in the league for the past week in 4 games. And I'll give you guys a second to guess. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. NBA champion, 4-time NBA champion, Klay Thompson with a minus 80 for the Dallas Mavericks. Wow, how the tables have turned. Absolutely insane. I feel like that stat was made for Mr. Scoot. No, let me stop. The Portland Trailblazers, just trying to hate on them a little bit. I'm joking though. I'm obviously kidding. The team that was the worst this week, in my opinion, was the Utah Jazz. They went 0 for 4, and they lost to some pretty bad teams. Like all lottery teams, just couldn't beat them. Like they're clearly tanking, as are a lot of teams. You could tell. Like they don't care about winning. They got nothing going on. Like I said, the Warriors 4-0, absolute beastie stuff. I'm really excited for this week coming up, just because it's like we're really coming down to it. This is what I've been saying. This is it. This is where the season gets real. Stuff starts pushing. Stuff starts happening. I want to take a look quickly at the slate of games. The Nets are playing the Lakers tonight. I just saw the tickets went down over 50% after LeBron was announced that he's not playing. 56%, I believe, was the right number. No crazy games tonight. Just kidding. We got the Nuggets versus the Thunder. Again, rematch. Ooh, let's see how the Nuggets answer back. What do they got? Hey, it's going to be a good one. I'm definitely excited. We got the Suns versus the Grizzlies. That should be a good game, especially if Phoenix wants to make a late push right now. This is it. This is the time. You got to start pushing for the playoffs. So this is all tonight. The Magic's Rocket is not a bad game. I wish the Mavs were healthy. I would have loved to see them versus a healthy Spurs team, but obviously no Wemby for the year, no Kyrie, so that game's whatever. And the Warriors game's whatever. Knicks Kings, not terrible game for tonight, but obviously the headliner would be like the Lakers Nets, just because of Luka now, no LeBron, just seeing what that looks like. And then I would say the Thunder Nuggets, Suns Grizzlies for sure. Those are the top games for today. That should be really hype, exciting. Can't wait to talk about those later. We'll go on tomorrow. Nothing crazy besides the Pacers Bucks. Yes, sir. Pacers Bucks is fun. That is fun. They have that little rivalry in the in-season tournament. They have that little mishap with the ball for Giannis. The Pelicans are playing the Clippers tomorrow. That's a free win for the Clips. If you're a Pelicans fan, woo, I feel bad. The Pelicans been on losing after night after night after night. Wednesday, we got OKC playing the Boston Celtics. So we saw that Shai got player of the week last week. Can he keep this up? He's got a crazy hard opponents back-to-back, as we're seeing right here. Next game, like tonight, playing Denver, then playing Boston, which we know Boston's going to game plan for him, right? It's hard to game plan for a full team, though. So this should be really interesting. I can't wait to see how that goes. Going down the list, Suns Rockets. Once again, we're going to highlight Suns games just to see what happens before this disaster ends, because I'm assuming Kevin Durant, this is his last year there. We're going to see how that unfolds. Continue going down the list. We got Timberwolves Nuggets on Wednesday. Timberwolves Nuggets, not a bad game at all. Thursday night, we got the Lakers Bucks. So depending, I want to start uploading those on Thursdays right before the games. Maybe discuss the couple days, so we don't have a lot to talk about. We just talk in between, right? So we could discuss how like the games that we just discussed happened, how it went, all that good stuff. Obviously, Monday we're talking about the full week, but still, like, I want to be able to just, like, just talk to you guys sooner, have discussions. But Bucks Lakers is cool. No LeBron, though, so that should be interesting once again. We got the Warriors Kings. Okay, nothing crazy. Friday night. So on the back-to-back, the Lakers play the Nuggets. So no LeBron for at least a week or two, right? So this is all gonna be Luka time, and it should be fun. I think this is gonna be great for him. Him and his teammates, they're gonna play really well. I've seen the numbers of how they shoot with Luka on the court, and bro, everyone's numbers are insanely high, like percentage-wise. It's actually crazy. It's crazy. Wow, it's nice to see that game starts at 3:30 a.m. I might be up for that. Oh, I wish the Celtics Heat was as fun as it used to be. I wish, but obviously that's not the case anymore. That's not even like a serious game no more by any means of the matter, right? We'll continue to look at any games on that night. We got Grizzlies Cavs. Not bad. Not bad at all. Suns Kings fighting for play-in seeding. Yes, that's what they're doing. And then the last, we have a couple more nights, I guess. I guess we could discuss the rest on Thursday. Nothing really much to have to worry about. But OKC looks like they have a tough schedule ahead of them. I want to know what the Knicks do. We forgot Brunson got hurt too. Brunson's out for a little. See, I totally just forgot about that. That's why we're here. How'd I forget about that? How are the Knicks gonna handle no Brunson? That should be really tough time for them as well. Hopefully they can weather the storm, especially they got good cushioning, but still like it's tough out here in the league right now. Like anything switches overnight, especially out west. Like east, maybe you got, like I said, cushioning, and you should be okay. You should be able to hold down the fort, stay afloat. But yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm probably sure I missed some other injuries. Like that's a big injury to miss. I remember watching that game, right? But that was the Knicks Lakers. That was a good time game this week as well. Next time I'll be a little bit more prepared. I don't want to be too serious. I'm just kind of going off the top of the dome. I'm scrolling. I wrote a couple notes down, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, this is gonna be hopefully fun moving forward. I can't wait to actually have like kind of knowing that I'm uploading on this day, uploading on that day. What, like, as opposed to just whenever, however. I think it'll be a great idea just to go over the week and then go over marquee games. If we have, like I said, anything major happening, I definitely want to discuss that as well. I'm like really upset that I let this channel die. I worked hard to set it up, and then there was just things that depressed me that made me stop. Like I really had this podcast thing going like 4 or 5 years ago. I had the Apple space, the Spotify space, like all that stuff set up. And then here I am today with nothing to show for it. But it's okay. It's a learning process. We battled turbulence, all that. And hey, you can't win a championship overnight, right? It takes some time. So one day we going to do it. So one day we going to ball worldwide. Thank you guys for all y'all support. I appreciate you, especially Failmaster, who does comment on every single video. You're a real one. If you made it this far, you're a real one always as well. Thank you so much. If anyone else is here, comment so I could see you. Show me some love. I'll show y'all love back. And as always, thank you for doing the most.